Larson Jewell's got a really great selection of float frames. We've got different colors and different sizes. So when you look at this, you see two white float frames. One is quite chunky, one is quite narrow. But we've also got like the gold, silvers, different wood tones, and there's different depths to accommodate different depths of artwork. And we've got a really great range to choose from, so you can really find a float for any need. So when you're choosing a float, how do you go about picking which one you want for a certain piece of artwork? Well, typically, if your artwork is small or really simple, the narrower profiles work perfectly well. And that doesn't mean you can't choose one of the other ones, but as you get into larger and more complex pieces of artwork, some of the larger profiles work better to kind of visually support that artwork. So as you think about the canvas being a large or really just a lot of detail on that canvas, consider these bigger profiles. And what I talked about earlier was the fact that you can add other frames around the edge. So when you look at these, like this canvas up here, it doesn't just have that float frame on it, it's also got a molding around the edge of that. It's that molding that brings out some of the color and the personality of that piece of artwork. And that's what you're looking for when you're selecting frames. So again, this is a nice look because it allows the whole canvas to show, but then we put this molding around the float. And what's nice about this particular molding is it's got the ribbing in it, and it really supports all the line work within the art and really helps that pull together. A different way of using a float is this here is a totally finished framed piece. So from here inward, that's the artwork, a fillet, and a frame, and that's that molding. And in this case, the framed art was dropped into the float frame like that. So instead of a unframed canvas being put into the float, here we've got a totally framed picture dropped into a float, just for a unique and different look. Now, as I'm talking about adding all these moldings around a float frame, sometimes it is perfectly okay just to have a float. And if you're only going to use a float, I would suggest adding one with a little bit more character to it. So this particular one has a little bit more visual interest, and on the wall it just looks a little bit nicer, more finished. So anyway, if you're only going to use a float, consider some of these profiles that have a little bit more going for them visually.